Hello, Jarrett Green from Irrational Passions.
Oh, hello, Michael.
Uh,
Also from Irrational Passions.
hey, that's right. PAX Online is happening right now. As we're recording this, we're in the midst of it, and all kinds of video game news popping off. But uh, usually this is a time where we're going to events and stuff, but that's obviously not happening because of the state of the world. So PAX has shifted online, and kind of like their other kind of like some of the like summer kind of online events have kind of happened. This one is kind of the same. It seems a little all over the place. If I'm just being honest,
Some
like
would say it's maybe too much like the other ones because it's hard to differentiate them, it feels like.
yeah, yeah,
There's been one long game show for the past 6 months.
yeah. That's pretty much what it's felt like. But we actually did get some emails for this one, and we technically signed up as press for it. So I guess we're covering it. Like we're trying to just figure it out as it goes here, as it goes. And basically I throughout this week, like the other kind of summer events. If you go on Steam on PC, a bunch of the games are out, and you can just play these demos. So the one we're going to take a look at here is for Alien Hominid Invasion. I think the hot Newgrounds joint is back here in 2020.
Hot new grounds joint.
Yeah,
Behemoth's first like real game that they turned from a flash game to like a real deal thing back on the PS2.
yep. And PS2 on the
Interesting
GameCube.
that the first thing they've done in since Pit People, which is what 2016 maybe,
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to think.
is
Like, yeah, they did like a couple like weird, kind of smaller game, not like smaller games, but like different games from what they've kind of
they
done.
did like Dad and Me, and I think
What's that?
Castle Crashers was kind of like a runaway hit.
Yeah, Castle Crash is really good. And then there was like, what was it? Battle Block Theater was one
Yeah,
that kind of came and went pretty fast. I feel like, and then like the one you just said, Pit People, I think was kind of similar. So they kind of have finally circled back to Alien Hominid. And what we're looking at here is I basically played the game because the demo for this game specifically is technically only up during the weekends of PAX Online, because basically it started on the 12th, I think that's the date, and is now going to the 20th. So basically the weekends kind of in between that time frame is only when this demo is up. So I basically played it this past weekend and recorded some gameplay, so we could take a look at it and give my general thoughts on like it's kind of like a weird like arcadey take, even more arcadey take than like the first game was. So let me just hit play on this video here and we'll get it going. Uh, First off, it pretty much looks like those other games.
I don't think you're sharing.
Oh, am I not sharing? Oops.
I want to see.
Oh no! Quickly. You luckily didn't meet
There,
us. There we go.
I can see it now. I
Yeah.
played this demo at PAX East.
Yeah.
Maybe not this specific demo, but a demo of this game at PAX East.
Yeah, I did as well for a little bit. They had like again going for like the arcadey vibe of this game. You'll quickly see is like because they had it on like an actual like arcade machine.
Yeah, with like a stick and like two buttons or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, playing this game now, I played it on here on PC on Steam and with my Xbox controller, and like it's pretty much full on Alien Hominid, but with like it's way more chaotic and a lot more stuff going on. It's just kind of like
Multiplayer.
yeah, this just kind of had a way more. This is kind of like an opening scene, which confused me at first because I was trying to remember if like this was set up that like the aliens were coming, but I think it's just they just made a premise follow up.
Well, they almost kind of retcon their own story a little bit, right? Like one alien made it to Earth in 2004.
Yeah.
And I guess this is kind of like a 16 years ago where the rest of the aliens found that the one alien was coming, and now they finally got here, I guess is the idea.
Yeah,
And this is the invasion that the first alien was sort of, I don't know, becoming a herald of.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He was kind of the first one, and now you're kind of now it's the full invasion is on, and that's kind of the premise of the whole aliens here. Well, I'll skip a little bit because this is just like the tutorial of like, hey, here's how to shoot a dude, here's how to like hold, charge your shot. So we'll jump up. Here's like, you got like a dodge roll and some other things like that. And here we go. This is kind of after that, and here's like another little scene of the aliens have arrived, and then it's kind of still that kind of weird, kind of goofy humor.
It does look remarkably similar. Maybe the lines are cleaner, the colors are bolder, and it's high resolution, but it's almost like the same art.
Yeah, it pretty much feels like it pretty much is pretty much the exact same kind of style for sure. I think it definitely is like a little cleaner, because it's modern tech.
And honestly, it's like probably pretty good. A pretty good sign that the style holds up so well, because honestly, it was such a kind of evocative thing in 2004. It's kind of what sold the game. That, and it was, a flash game on a platform for gaming on PC, and had like a social aspect thanks to the sort of Newgrounds community that didn't exist at the time. So yeah, that part of it's too. And what the Behemoth has always kind of like leaned on is that it has such a visual language that's very unique to it. So like all of their games have this sort of style that is difficult to replicate, but very easy to sort of identify.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to go back to like the original, like the OG where this came from.
Yeah, like this.
And see that still holds up like exactly the same.
Yeah, of like a similar style, and like as you'll soon see, like pretty similar gameplay. It's just a lot more stuff is going on.
It's a lot more modern. Like it's definitely like a roguelike.
Yeah, has some roguelike stuff, some like definitely like kind of beat 'em up arcadey stuff to kind of keep you playing more. It seems like, like you said, like there is like a full on. At least I think there's up to 4-player multiplayer. I think. This is just me playing. And you just. It just kind of pops off. Like you basically, as you'll see, like there's that meter kind of up at the top, and basically you're kind of clearing objectives to kind of progress the level. And you'll see the other meter, the timer, and kind of like the green triangle up there. That's basically like that's kind of like the Risk of Rain mechanic, where like the levels get harder over time. So you kind of want to like be moving quickly through the levels. Instead of just kind of taking it slow and easy. Otherwise, you'll get a lot more difficult enemies, a lot faster potentially on your runs.
I liked that the every stage basically has like a series of objectives that you have to kind of complete in a row, and those objectives in that order, the objectives change every mission.
Mm-hmm.
So like what you're doing might resemble the same every mission, but not always be exactly the same. I do wish like they do kind of boil down to like collect this stuff or kill this many people or whatever. I wish things were kind of more interesting than that, but I feel like the more complicated you make it, the harder it becomes to make a 4-player sort of arcade shooter where the goal is to just kind of shoot better than the rest of your friends.
Yeah, and even just like
if they compromise there.
Yeah, and even just kind of like my time playing it solo, like even just like with those basic objectives, the game just gets like pretty chaotic, and there's just a lot going on at any given time. Of like there's dudes everywhere. There's lasers popping off. You can kind of move around pretty quickly, and you can kind of keep yourself in the air with the projectiles if you shoot down below, or you can charge up shots and roll around. And,
very Earthworm Jimmy kind of.
Yeah, so you just have like a lot of movement options to get around, and then but there's also just like so much going on the screen of like I can jump on these dudes' backs and like ride them around, and they're constantly shooting at you, and it just gets like crazier and crazier. And there and like kind of like some roguelite-y stuff, like there are other things that like you'll encounter later on, like I counted in here, of like there's like a shop, and like there's like little kids in the levels that'll like help you out sometimes with certain stuff, and you also have to like save them sometimes as one of the objectives. So it's definitely just pretty hectic.
Just so my time with it was very limited, in February, so I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I don't know how deep it gets outside of the actual like running and gunning. Like I don't remember any meta stuff at all.
Yeah,
I know you have to unlock like city blocks or something like that, or
yeah, you're unlocking city blocks, and you're trying to get to this end kind of goal. Like you're trying to get into this like FBI base. And when my time playing it, I didn't go all the way there, but I did get like a couple kind of city blocks in, and it seems like a lot of the meta stuff is like you do unlock different weapon types, and you do unlock like different like skins and outfits for the alien himself, and all of those skins and outfits actually have like different stats and abilities and things. That's you see now that we've finished the level. See, I secured those loot crates, and they kind of accrue to like unlocking those weapons and stuff. And I did get to that point, so let me see if I'll jump a little bit ahead. Here's like a slightly different objective of like there's basically like this like dude who this hacker who is basically like flying these purple drones around, and I had to like take him out. But of course there's like a million dudes around, so I'm like trying to like get around him to get to this guy, because you can see he kind of like jumps and flips around a whole bunch.
I like that he's just an FBI dude in a hoodie.
Yes, yeah. He just has like a big backpack. So there you go. I took him out. And I got one of those little kind of loot crates for beating them. You can lose those crates. So like there's kind of like a risk reward thing of kind of like trying to stay in a certain level as long as you can to potentially get more of those crates. But then like as it goes on, the difficulty ramps up, and if you lose like a portion of those like loot crates. So like there's kind of some risk reward there with that mechanic. But I am curious, yeah, like you said, like to see like what kind of like it's with the roguelite-ish nature that this game is kind of adopting, like what is kind of a full loop of this, so to speak. Like,
yeah, I wonder how much of that is in this demo.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is available to play. Or at least it won't be when this is up.
Yeah.
I don't believe, so it'd be difficult to know until it actually.
Yeah.
Launches, I also don't know when that's happening.
Yeah, like I say, I think it's still slated for this year, but I don't think it is. It might only be on PC this year, I think, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Just because I only really looked at the Steam pages for this, so I haven't looked around if it's on other consoles this year. And like the Alien Hominid in the first game, you get this kind of crazy, like I just said, that crazy like turret, like walker that I can just shoot a bunch of dudes with. So some of that like crazy stuff's in there too. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Just shooting dudes. It gets pretty chaotic. Let me where my mouse goes. Let me jump ahead a little bit again. Yeah, and as you can see now that we're deeper in, I have more of these kind of mission modifiers of like the danger's higher, so I'm getting more coins. But now there's these missiles that are like constantly flying in. They move pretty slow, but they actually do like pretty decent damage.
Can you adjust the modifiers before you go into a mission, so you can choose to make it harder to get more rewards?
I didn't see anything like that. It seems like it's mainly tied to that danger meter that's up in the top.
Oh, so the danger meter is persistent throughout your run. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it is like Risk of Rain, where like
it pretty
the longer
much,
it takes you to get through the game.
Yeah, that's just
scarier it gets.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's just kind of slowly ticking up over time, and it's adding more of those modifiers in as it gets more difficult.
Okay. I like that you can sort of visibly see the modifiers, like what makes it harder, you'll know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's
like you're assuming everything's going to be bigger and scarier.
Yeah, and there's like some smaller ones that I think have happened between this, but it's like basic stuff of just like, hey, more enemies, like swarms of enemies are coming more or less.
Okay.
But here's like another one where it's like they like trap you in this kind of barrier, and these like big purple. Yeah, these crazy giant, all these crazy green things. Yeah, you're just kind of trapped in here. You gotta survive. So I could see, I went down, but you do have lives in this game, so like that, and as you can see now, in my last life. So I think you can get more. There's like I think I grabbed one right there. Yeah, that big heart right there is a life. So there you go. So there is like some kind of like stuff that'll help you out in the runs you can find. Yeah. But no, yeah, like you said, it's still, that like some of the visual styles of the game holds up to an extent. It looks pretty much like that classic game did, or what you think that classic game like.
Yeah, how you remember that classic game looking. Yeah. Like I'm sure if I pulled up a video of 2004's Alien Hominid, it's not going to look like this.
Yeah, it's not going to like.
Frame rate's going to be slower. It's probably going to be.
Yeah, some of the animations of the characters probably aren't as clean and. Sure. Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff popping off. I want to see if I get. I think like towards the end of the video is where I get some of the. Yeah. So this is where. Here we go. We'll jump back a little bit because I think this is where I unlock some of the. See, I got another gun. I hit level 2 and got a different gun type. Yeah, and then there's a shop here. So I'll jump into that as well. So it's kind of like a little machine gun. And you have some. So you can see there's like. I'm about to go into the shop here, and that gives you some. That lets me buy some like more like character like skins and outfits, and they all have their own little abilities. Yeah, and also like I had those loot boxes on me, so getting them to this checkpoint like secured some of them for me, so I wouldn't lose them. But,
these are all like armor, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, they're basically just little outfits, and each of them have their own little modifier. So, like this one gives me more health. And I buy this one, which gives me more defensive options on kills and stuff. It seems like that's kind of the progression of it to an extent of like it seems like you'll kind of when you lose a run, you'll kind of start over from the start of like these levels and kind of have to go through them again. But if you have some of these better skins and weapons, it seems like they'll be a little bit faster to kind of go back through them.
Okay.
Yeah, let's show off those new guns. See, it's just kind of like a little kind of rapid fire machine gun.
Oh yeah.
But as you can see, yeah, it's still. It seems like there will definitely be some persistent kind of little mission modifiers. Like I did a lot of these, like collect, like basically, kill a bunch of dudes and they get you intel. There's armored dudes like that one where you have to kind of charge up your shot in order to take them out.
Missiles are a lot.
Yeah, they definitely seem like there was getting more and more as that kind of danger being ticked up. It's just a whole lot of dudes in general. Yeah, and there's a kid actor. You have to like save these or destroy those objects. I can't try to remember if there was in this one, but there was like one where like one of those kids was like basically like running around on the street or the sidewalk rather, and then you basically had to be like in a vicinity with him and kind of protect him from the FBI agents and stuff. Like that was like one of the modifiers too. Yeah, and that's probably like most of like the variants I saw. Where like you said, like destroy something, destroy 3 things or collect 3 things, or kill a bunch of dudes. These stupid dogs started showing up. I didn't like those. Yeah, so there's the kids in the...
Save kids who are in a cage.
Yeah, it's good to save them. And then these jerk laser beams. Yeah, and I just die saving the kid, but luckily I had lives. Yeah, it seems alright. It seems like a cool, like a decent evolution of that, of Alien Hominid, that kind of base game. But I hopefully don't know if I even though it was just a demo, I'm curious to see like the full game. But even then, I don't know if it'd be a game I kind of stick with.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering like where the comeback appeal is.
Yeah, right.
Because it is kind of cool to see the franchise like look. It's basically like what does this old franchise look like, in 2020? What is 2020? What is like characteristic about video games now that would change the way Alien Hominid plays? And this is very obviously a pretty good thesis of that. But
yeah,
on the same token, there are a lot of games like this.
Yes,
and
especially this year.
There maybe none of them are exactly like this, but like what exactly pulls you away as a multiplayer game from whatever you're playing now to come through and play this?
Yeah, 100%. This seems like
and that's no knock on this. Like I think it's pretty cool. But like, I know that pretty cool for me means like 5 or 6 hours.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
I don't know if that's the intention here.
Yeah, like you said, it feels like it'd be a fun game to like get a group of people with one night and play a bunch, and then maybe play it one more time, maybe not.
Right.
So, and that's
would be
okay.
Cool if I actually had an arcade nearby, and like if this was in, I could throw some quarters at it and then like be on my way.
Yeah, 100%. That was definitely cool. That was definitely what was cool about it.
Yeah, I think I played a bunch of it there, like across the 3 or 4 days, because it was like every time I was playing it, there was a different group of people to play with.
Yeah, then see, I failed out, and then you lose some loot, some of those crates. You at least keep some, so you can make a little bit of progress, but not as much. And I think just that they had this because of the demo, where it's like, what did you think of this game? And I rank it, so that's fun. But that's pretty much all I recorded, really. I felt like it was like a little bit of a good showing of what it was, kind of the basic loop of it. But yeah, I'm curious to see. Let me see if I can look up real quick. Oh, hi Giant Bomb. I'll look up real quick just to get a time frame and maybe release window on some of this stuff that I should have looked up before I did this video. But time's hard sometimes. Let's see. I'm on the Alien Hominid website, Invasion website. There's no real release dates on here.
This is a game that's gonna you're gonna get a date when it releases, like at the end of a month, on the beginning of that month.
Yeah, pretty much. They don't really have any official dates on here for pretty much any release. Actually, looking at this website. Interesting. I thought it was this year, but maybe it's not this year. So I guess this year has now become a very bizarre year. So
Yeah, it might have been this year in February.
yeah, but now it is. But now it might not be. But anyway, that was Alien Hominid Invasion. If so, if you're watching this now, you probably the demo might not be up the very day, but the last weekend of PAX Online, I think, is the 18th. I know today's, so it's the 19th and the 20th. So I think the demo will be up again on that weekend. So, I mean, if you see this video in time, you might be able to play some if you want on Steam and try it out. But more than likely, you might see this later where the demo will not be available. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to more PAX content, hopefully, later this week. Thanks, Jarrett, for joining me.
No problem.
And I think that'll do it. So, everyone, have a good one. Stay safe. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Take care.